If you know a family with a child affected by the autism spectrum disorder, you know that the quest for proper treatment is a constant challenge. There is some work getting done at the Capitol to help in that search for care and support, thanks in large part to our next guest. Shannon Knoll is Connecticut's Advocacy Chair for Autism Speaks. Shannon, thanks for being here. She's also one of my oldest friends in the world, so.
Not old.
Doubly. No, not old. Longest friends, I should say. That's a better term. You know, let's talk first of all about Senate Bill 799. That's it, right? And that was the bill, that is the bill that that came about because of this woman in Norwalk who pretended to be, she represented herself as a board-certified behavioral therapist, and she was not.
Correct.
And it would make it a criminal, increase the criminal penalty for doing that. Tell me, why do you think that was able to happen? I mean, was it in any part because of a lack of awareness about the autism care and needs, or?
Well, I think a couple of things happened. The first issue is that our families are so desperate for appropriate care and appropriate services that we often will go to whomever is offering that service to us. So I think we're very trusting in that people will provide appropriate services for our kids, which is kind of the nature of this disorder. We're so desperate for help.
And is there a lot of help out there, or?
There is help. Help is not always accessible to everyone for insurance reasons or for location throughout the state. So it is very difficult to get appropriate services. So I think when it presents itself, people jump on it.
Right.
And unfortunately, there are also a lot of people who know that and prey on our families as a result.
And this was particularly troubling because she was employed by a school district, right?
She was.
So there's a lack of proper checking, and so this will make, hopefully that would prevent that from happening.
It would, and it would actually also, what I'm most proud of about this bill is that it will first protect our families, but then it will also set the precedent for Connecticut to be a leader in benchmarking this sort of legislation. Connecticut would only be the second state in the country to have this sort of legislation on the books, which sends a very clear message to people who want to, take advantage of our families in the state.
And are only 2 states getting involved with that because it hasn't happened a lot, or because why are states reluctant to send that kind of a message?
I don't think it's as much reluctance as a lack of awareness about what's really going on.
Okay. How many board-certified behavioral therapists would you say there are in Connecticut? Do we know?
I don't know off the top of my head, but it is something that is regulated nationally, so there is a board that handles that certification process that is located outside of Connecticut. So it's a very arduous and intense program to become a BCBA. They're desperately needed, but they are few and far between.
So what happens if you live in a town where they don't have one?
Often you will seek services out of town, drive exorbitant distances to get the appropriate treatment for your child.
Okay. So you are putting together a tennis academy this summer, which is something near and dear to us because we played tennis together in high school. So tell me about why this will help and about how it will help.
Well, this camp was founded by a fellow teammate of mine and myself out of the need to find some sort of physical activity opportunity for kids with autism. They're not typically kids who enjoy team sports. They don't do well with social interactions. And there are a lot of inherent social cues within the tennis game that I think would be really important for kids on the spectrum to learn, plus an opportunity for physical activity. So.
Okay, and so this camp is going to be 2 sessions.
Yes.
And what will they do there?
Well, it's being sponsored by or held at the Ethel Walker School in Simsbury and sponsored by the United States Tennis Association and a number of other organizations throughout the state. Throughout the day, they will be getting tennis instruction from certified instructors from the Perfect Racket in Avon and from people who are donating their time from Massachusetts as well. They will have the opportunity to participate in a craft, a social activity, have lunch on the campus, and explore the facilities around them. So it's really something that we're really excited about.
And when they have access to this kind of social interaction and as you were saying, physical activity, what's the impact?
Well, we're hoping that it facilitates a lifelong interest in a sport, something that they can hang on to and continue to do and invest in as a physical exercise for the rest of their lives.
And there aren't a lot of opportunities?
There are virtually none.
Wow.
So I think, as in any circumstance for people with kids on the spectrum, we have to do it ourselves, and that's what we're doing.
Right, right. And let's talk a little bit about, I know we just popped up the full screen, but let's pop it up again. And this is for children ages 4 to 8, so that's a critical age, right?
Grades 4 to 8.
Oh, grades 4 to 8,
grades
okay.
4 to 8.
Grades 4 to 8, and it'll be held at Ethel Walker School. And the cost, we didn't mention the cost.
The cost is $20 per session per camper. It was really, really important for me to be able to keep the cost low because our families are so burdened by financial stressors due to therapies, et cetera. So it was really, really important for me to keep the cost low, and we have due to a number of grants that we've secured.
And you said that there are virtually no opportunities like this. Have you heard in terms of how much interest you already might have generated?
Well, we have started registering people so far. We have a critical need for volunteers, and we will be training volunteers on it's not so much about tennis, but about a willingness to be able to work with kids who need a little extra help and attention. So.
Excellent. All right, and we have a few more seconds, so let's talk about, there's also an autism walk coming up.
There is. Our 6th annual Walk Now for Autism Speaks is June 5th at Rentschler Field in East Hartford. We had about 9,000 people last year, so we're really excited to put it on again this year.
And the money that is raised there goes to what?
It goes to Autism Speaks to fund research and hopefully a cure for autism.
Excellent, and we hope, we wish you good luck with that, Shannon. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
being here so much. Don't forget, if you missed something here on The Real Story, you can now watch it online by going to ctnow.com. Excuse me. You can also catch us on YouTube. And please be sure to friend me on Facebook for daily updates and news. That's at Lori Perez, WTIC. Thanks so much for watching this week's edition of The Real Story. We'll see you here again next week.